Welcome to my channel. Today I have a delicious yogurt soup with chicken, chickpeas and rice. This soup is so tasty with its tangy taste from the yogurt and added lemon, and is made using the stock from the chicken. To top it off, I'll be adding seasoned peppers sautéed in melted butter. I can guarantee one plate will definitely not be enough, as this soup is quite Moorish, so be sure to make enough to go around. Quantities given are enough for 6 servings. If you're new to my channel, consider subscribing for delicious recipes posted weekly from the Turkish cuisine and more. You'll need 1 kilogram of chicken, and chicken thighs work really well with this dish. Remove any skin so that you have a clearer broth and it's not too oily. Place the chicken in a pan and add 2 liters of boiling water. To make a delicious stock, add 2 bay leaves, a teaspoon of salt, the juice of 1 lemon, and 1 onion cut into quarters. Place the pan on the stove and cook on medium to high heat until the chicken is tender. Meanwhile, rinse 100 grams of rice. I've used pudding rice, but you can use an alternative if you like. Place the rinsed rice into a large pan. We'll be using this pan for the soup, so be sure that it's big enough to take approximately 3 liters of water. Then add 200 grams of pre-soaked or cooked chickpeas. You can use tinned chickpeas which are already cooked. These are frozen ones which I previously soaked overnight. Add 1.5 liters of boiling water and place on the stove to cook on medium heat until the chickpeas and rice are cooked through. So we have 2 pans on the go. Keep stirring the rice and chickpeas so that they don't stick to the pan, and also check on the chicken, giving them a stir from time to time also. As scum starts to appear on the surface of the water, remove it with a spoon. The aroma from the developing stock will hit you round about now, and it smells absolutely delicious. Check that you can cut through the chickpeas and that the rice is cooked, then turn off the heat and cover until later. After about 45 minutes my chicken was ready. Remove a piece and see if it will come away from the bone, or if it's boneless, just make sure the meat is cooked through. As you can see, the meat is easily falling apart, so it's definitely cooked. Remove all of the meat from the pan, draining off the excess liquid as you do. We want to save all of the stock for the soup. All of the meat removed, time to drain off the stock. If you can, use a measuring jug to ascertain how much stock remains. Use a sieve to remove any particles from the water. We will be double straining it before it goes into the soup to make sure it's completely clear. So far that's 1 liter of stock, which we can pour into the pan with the chickpeas and rice, straining it again as we do. Be sure to keep the water which the rice and chickpeas have been cooking in. Half a litre more stock was produced, so in total from the original 2 litres of water, 1.5 litres of stock was made and added to the soup. With the remaining water from the rice, which would have reduced to about 1 litre, that's 2.5 litres of liquid so far in the soup. Keep the pan on a simmer whilst we prepare the rest of the ingredients. Pour 500 grams of yogurt into a large bowl. Add the yolk of 1 egg and 2 tablespoons of plain flour. Mix thoroughly to combine. Once you have a smooth consistency, it's time to acclimatise the yogurt with some of the soup water. Gradually add spoonfuls of the hot water from the pan until the yogurt is hot enough to be added to the pan without it curdling. In total, I added about 5 ladlefuls of the water to reach the correct temperature. This step is very important, as if you miss doing this, the soup would be ruined due to the yogurt curdling. Using a whisk will ensure you remove any lumps. Pour the yogurt into the pan once it's reached the correct temperature and keep stirring as the flour begins to thicken the soup. Once the soup has thickened to a creamy consistency and there are no lumps, add the chicken, which should have been shredded into small pieces. Keep stirring for about 5 more minutes. After about 5 minutes, take off the heat and cover whilst we prepare the sautéed peppers. Melt 70 grams of butter in a small pan. Once the butter has melted, add either 2 small bell peppers or 1 large one. Any colour will do. These should be chopped as finely as possible. Sauté on medium to high heat for about 5 minutes. When the peppers have softened, add the seasoning. 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 tablespoon dried mint and half a teaspoon of oregano. Stir to combine for a few more minutes, then take off the heat. You have the option now of either pouring this scrumptious sautéed pepper mix directly into the pan and mixing it in, or you could use it as a topping when serving, adding a couple of spoonfuls of it on top of the soup in each bowl. I decided to add mine directly into the pan. The soup is now ready. Check the seasoning and add more salt if needed. Then you're ready to serve this scrumptious soup. You can squeeze on lemon juice and add freshly cracked black peppercorns for even more flavour. Afiyet olsun.